We finally have the opportunity of testing the XTRONS 14.9 Android screen for the BMW F10. It comes in a nice box with the XTRON branding, which is something to expect, or it's something that we are expecting from a brand like XTRONS. Small box for the big screen. Let's see what we are getting. We are getting the regular cables to install on the vehicle, the GPS sensor, the 4G antenna, some USB cables, the SIM holder, that strange speaker that nobody uses, the main harness, which quite nicely has already connected an auxiliary output cable to connect to the sound system of the vehicle, and again a microphone that many people don't install. Scrap that idea with not using the microphone. For this type of unit, you actually need to install it. The screen itself, interesting build, very compact. You need to see it in person to really appreciate it. Looks very promising, and we will go and install it on the vehicle to see if it is as a big improvement as I'm expecting it to be. Old 12.3-inch Android screen versus the new 14.9 XTRON. Let's see what type of craziness have I done here on my vehicle. Now let's place a microfiber. So also I should have made sure to switch off the ignition. Let's try to use the remote control to do that. The overall install now will be simpler because I already traced the auxiliary cable to my auxiliary port, and also the camera and the majority of cables are already prepared. Also, I made an interesting hack to be able to fit all the harnesses, because I already have an additional harness for the amplifier. I'll show you a video and also link more details about that. It's a good starting point if you're having trouble with installing and getting all of the cables at the back of the unit. First part of the harness for that old unit. I haven't clearly shown it, but on the majority of Android units you will need to switch the optical cables from your OEM harness to the new harness. In my case, because I already have an amplifier, that optical cable is installed in that harness, but for someone that does just the install of the Android unit, you need those two green bits, those two green optical fibers, to be swapped and installed as close to the unit as possible. It got a bit more complicated. Dum, 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 dum. Problem is that my previous cable is different from this new one. But let's make something interesting and install the new cable at the same time as we are removing the old one. I thought it will be easy, but it turned out to be more complicated. However, the steps that I've covered for sure will help you with this install or with the install of other equipment on the BMW F10. So out with the old, in with the new. And we trace the cable nicely. We already have a fork. We are just going to cut the rubber and we go back to the deck. Now we're introducing my special tool, an ultrasonic plastic cutter that makes any install much easier. Links are available in the description. Maybe you're gonna treat yourself and get one. For some reason now I'm struggling to connect this, that is from the Android unit, to the harness that I'm having from the amplifier. I'm reaching a point where my patience is running thin, and I'm really considering cutting the wires and soldering them harness to harness. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, but if not, my patience doesn't allow me to play anymore. As Chinese coupler not connecting to another Chinese coupler, I removed the sliders from the side, trying to move them left and right. Maybe I get some slack and it will connect, but something is fishy over here. Eventually I managed to align the two couplers, but I didn't have the locking pin in place. So I'm using some pliers to ensure that everything is as close as possible. And after that I will apply a zip tie, trying to secure this coupler. One for me and one for you. Somehow the things in the back have aligned such a way that everything seems to be okay. This is a good opportunity not to touch anything anymore. Let's not jinx it. We will connect the main coupler, the USB. I forgot to mention about the pink connector that goes from the media unit to the screen. Make sure to connect that and also look at connecting the microphone. And after that, place the unit in the dash. A quick note with regards to the reversing camera on the 14.9 inch XTRONS unit. You will have your main signal wire that connects to the label camera, or to the wire with the label camera, and after that your live 12 volt should go to the label P cam. Previously I connected it to reverse in and I wasn't getting any signal. Connected it like I should and now it works like a charm. We need to remove this pesky label, and you want to do it from the other side, so from the passenger side. To remove the glue, panel wipe from G-Technic, spray it on a microfiber and slowly work it in. It has been 1 week since I installed the 14.9 XTRONS Android screen for the BMW F10, and these are my observations regarding how this unit is integrating on the vehicle. We are going to discuss the good, the bad, and try to conclude if this type of upgrade is something that you want on your vehicle. On the good side of things, the screen integration on the vehicle is quite good. It's much better than the 12.3 inch units, especially because the bezel is very thin. The 12.3-inch units are narrower and taller, and the image seems to be much smaller, and in my opinion this screen sits better in the vehicle. Image quality, image brightness is better improved with the software from XTRONS. You don't really find the need of adjusting the screen brightness even more, but should you need that, there is an app called Night Screen. I've discussed about it on the channel multiple times. You can install that to get even more adjustment. Sound quality, much better than other units that I have tested, and should you want to upgrade it even more, you have a DSP function which makes even more magic happen and the sound to be exactly where you want it to be. Other things to notice: the software allows Apple Carplay or Android Auto to start automatically. No more touching of buttons, no more apps to start. And I've noticed that it is able to start consistently without absolutely no input from my side of the things, and this is a big improvement. Also, this unit manages to sort out one of my problems with regards to the rear view camera and the intensity of the image when using the rear view camera. Previously I was getting the image at maximum brightness when I was using this. Now it is spot on, no blinding image, no nothing. It's just as it should be, and it is a crisp big image which makes the car feel 2024. It makes it feel like a Mercedes E-Class with those big screens. On the topic of sensors, rear view camera, we move on to the things that are not that good about this unit. So you're getting the image, you're getting the parking sensors on the sides when you are going backwards, but when you're going forward, you're not getting absolutely no visual representation of the front parking sensors, and this might catch you by surprise because the beeping sound is usually quite late, and if you don't expect or if you don't mitigate against this, you might hit something when you are relying on the front parking sensors to show up on the screen. So keep in mind that. Other things that I've noticed that are kind of iffy and might be annoying: the GPS location might have a lag of a few seconds. I've noticed it especially when going past speed cameras. So it's a 0.1 of a mile, a few meters delay. It is noticeable if you are in a roundabout and you try to navigate based on the screen graphics. It might catch you by surprise, but none of them are deal breakers. And also I've noticed, or I took people in my vehicle that didn't know about this issue, and for them it wasn't something noticeable. So maybe I'm paranoid. Don't judge the unit just based on this. One of the other things that I've noticed with this app is that it doesn't have like Z-Link or Car2Link, the option of high resolution screen mirroring Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Not the end of the world, but high resolution for these types of apps might be something good and might be something to ask for from XTRONS for future updates, future improvements on this type of unit. If we try to summarize this product, although it isn't a perfect product, the advantages that it brings and the improvement to your use of the vehicle and of the content that you're consuming far outweigh the disadvantages and the struggles that you will need to go through to perfect this unit. You get the support from XTRONS, which are quite nice and offer local support. You get fast delivery, warranty, and you get product that is well integrated with many vehicles. Links to this product will be available in the description. Links to the tools that I've used to install the product are again available in the description. Should you want to learn more about tips and tricks, this video might help, and also this video over here might also be useful. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.